السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. الحمد لله رب العالمين والصلاة والسلام على سيدنا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين. Inshallah, in tonight's Taraweeh, we will complete the recitation of Surah Al-Kahf. We'll recite, inshallah, all of Surah Maryam and most of Surah Taha. So that is, we will complete the recitation of the 15th juz and start and actually cover most of the 16th juz, inshallah. Surah Al-Kahf is a Makki surah. The Prophet ﷺ was posed 3 questions. Some have said from the Jewish community. One was regarding the ruh, the soul. The second was about the sleepers of the cave, Ashab al-Kahf. And the third was Dhul Qarnayn. Of these 3 questions, the first Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala addressed in Surah Al-Isra when He responded with وَيَسْأَلُونَكَ عَنِ الرُّوحِ قُلِ الرُّوحُ مِنْ أَمْرِ رَبِّي. When Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala provided some information about the ruh. The second 2 questions, their answers came in Surah Al-Kahf. So the people of the Kahf, the cave, they were youth that lived in a time in which the people were involved in idolatry, and the king would actually make people worship idols. So they recognized that the idols aren't the right way to go in terms of what one should worship. So they made dua, they distanced themselves, and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala caused them to sleep in a cave for 309 years. And during that time, their bodies were protected. They would turn from one side to another. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala arranged different things around them in order to protect them, their bodies from deteriorating, and from others also coming onto the cave. They were protected and they were made to sleep for this long period of time. When they woke up, and now obviously the authority had changed, the leader had changed, so they sent one of them with their old coins of 309 years ago. And then through this, they were, they recognized, the time that had passed between once they had entered into the cave and when they had left the cave. In what will be recited tonight, there are a number of stories that we will come across. The story of Prophet Adam alayhi salam and Iblis. The story of Musa alayhi salam and Khadir, in which there is differences of opinion about Khadir, whether he is a prophet or not. But the 3 different scenarios that are presented. One, that Khadir removes a plank from a fairy. And then Musa alayhi salam questions him that, why did you do this? The second one is that Khadir he kills a boy. And again, Musa alayhi salam questions him that, why have you killed a boy? And the third one is when they enter into a particular tribe or an area, and they ask the people for some basic food or some basic items, but the people don't actually provide them with that hospitality. So then Khadir is instructed to fix and restore a wall that is about to fall. And again, Musa alayhi salam questions him that, why have you done this? So that at every time, Khadir, he points out to Musa alayhi salam that you are not going to question me about what I do. But when the third occurrence happens, and Khadir tells him that now us traveling together, it comes to an end at this particular point. And Khadir explains the reason for those 3 actions that he performed. The first one was because they later on, while that ship was to continue, there was a king that would actually take every ship that was in good shape. So Khadir, he sort of damaged that ship to some extent in order for that king to not take that ship because it is damaged to some extent. The second one, the boy that was killed, it was known Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala had informed that this child would grow up and he would be a disbeliever. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala would actually give the parents of this boy other children that would be righteous children and believers. So Khadir had been instructed to kill this particular boy. And the third one, the wall that was about to fall and was restored, underneath that there was actually some possessions or some treasures that belonged to two orphans. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala describes in the Quran, وَكَانَ أَبُوهُمَا صَالِحًا, and their father was a righteous person. So the scholars have derived from this that the piety and the righteousness of the parents has an effect upon the children and their preservation, that they will be preserved and given sustenance and protection by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. The story of Dhul Qarnayn then follows, and some scholars said he was a prophet, others have other opinions, some have said that he was a just ruler, some have said he was also the advisor of Khadir. So he goes on multiple journeys that are described within these verses of the Quran. 3 journeys are described. One to the west, where he reaches the farthest settlement, where the sun sets, and then he finds a nation over there and he calls them to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. The second journey that is described is towards the east, and there he reaches a place where he sees the sun rising and people are not protected from the sun over there. They're living in the open. The third journey is one where he reaches between 2 mountains, and there he finds people that cannot understand anything, and they were terrified from Ya'juj and Ma'juj. So Khadir, Dhul Qarnayn, he then builds a barrier between this particular community and Ya'juj and Ma'juj. So that is another story that is mentioned towards the end of this particular surah. The next surah that will be recited is Surah Maryam, a Makki surah. In it, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala mentions the stories of 10 different prophets at the start. With the story of Zakaria alayhi salam and his son Yahya, the story of Maryam and her son Isa.
Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar.